Welcome to the KiDDs Biz Podcast, your go-to source for unlocking the secrets to success in orthodontics and pediatric dentistry. Each episode, we bring you expert guests who share innovative strategies and insider tips to help your practice thrive. Whether you're looking to enhance patient care, boost your marketing, or stay ahead of industry trends, we've got you covered. Join us on this exciting journey to elevate your practice and make a lasting impact in the lives of your young patients. Let's dive in.
Hey, Dr. Ashley, welcome back. It's July.
Hey, Davin.
It's great to see you. I can't believe it's already July. The summer is almost over.
In California, it's just beginning. We got gloom, May gray. The sun is finally out. We get it till about October here, so it's just beginning for us.
I love it. Well, I'm excited to talk to our guests today. We have Dr. Mike Selig and Dr. Lauren Carlson from Tennessee, Shine Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics, and they're going to tell us their startup story. So you guys want to say hey?
Hello.
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm super excited. As a startup myself, it's always fun to hear other people's journeys in their startup as well. Yeah, you guys are a husband and wife duo. I always love to hear that. My husband's a general dentist. I wanted him, since I'm the orthodontist, I wanted him to be the pediatric dentist. And he was like, hell no, I'm not working with kids every day in, day out. So I think it's so cool that you guys are a husband-wife duo. That's what I wanted, but my husband did not approve of this. So tell me a little bit about like how you guys, you're doing the startup together. Tell me a little bit about your guys' background. How'd you meet? Was it in dental school?
Lauren, you can start.
Sure, I'll go. We were dental school classmates. We sat like 3 rows behind each other, kind of in the same friend group. He actually came in with a girlfriend, so we weren't together from the beginning, but that changed. We got engaged 3rd year, I believe, and then we went to residencies I was in Indianapolis. He matched in Chicago, so we were long distance. We got married long distance our first year of residency.
Crazy.
Then just lived apart for another year. And then I moved to Chicago. I worked there for a year while he finished his residency. And then from there, we moved to Nashville. And that's where we are now. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
Anything to add there? That was the quick journey of how we met.
We got engaged in 4th year, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I always love to hear the discrepancies between those how we met stories. So how did you end up in Tennessee?
So I went to Vanderbilt, which is in Nashville, for my undergrad. Dental school was in Louisville, so we were pretty close by. Lauren had been here, I think, when she was growing up, knew that she liked it here. We visited a few times while we were in dental school. We both have families kind of spread apart. So Lauren's from the West Coast, but her parents had retired and moved to Florida. My family's in St. Louis. Kind of just made sense. Nashville's kind of right in the middle. We knew we needed a lot of young people around in a growing city. So everything just kind of made sense. We both found associate jobs with the same company that's actually an orthopedo model, which was kind of perfect. That was sort of our test run for how to run an office like this. So that's how we wound up here.
Also, Nashville had professional sports. We needed professional sports as well. So that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Now, since you guys moved to a new city, I moved back home. So that was just an obvious thing. I needed to be close to my parents. But did you guys do like any like demographic analysis? Like, did you guys like really vet the location, or did you kind of just pick a spot on the map and you're like, I think this will work?
So when we first moved, we worked for our associates for 4 years. And we were we were split. They have 8 locations. They're all orthopedo combined. And I started at one office northwest of the city. He started in an office southeast of the city. So we got a good experience kind of in the neighboring areas. Lots of kids during the pandemic, literally everyone moved to Nashville from California, New York, Chicago. So we knew it was growing. But when we finally decided to open our own, we did do demographic search. We also just wanted to be somewhere where we knew we wanted to live. So we currently live in the city. We built where we want to like raise our family. And luckily There's 3 pediatric dentists there, but it's like so booming that there's plenty of kids. And then there's not very many orthodontists, and there was no orthopedos there. So our our associate office didn't have a location there. So there's a lot of more corporate orthopedo practices in Nashville, but not where we are in Gallatin, and we're not a corporate one. So we kind of went there because we wanted to end up there. And then it's just booming with kids and had a need.
Now, did you guys always know that you wanted to do a startup, or were you looking for opportunities to buy and they just weren't there? What was your guys' journey towards the startup?
You can take this one.
So I'll take this one. I'm the son of a dental hygienist. I kind of grew up in dental practices with my mom. So I always saw her working for, everyone knew the doctor. She didn't work for any corporate. It was always family practices. So that was always my idea of what you were supposed to do as a dentist. And I looked into purchasing ortho offices. Luckily, it didn't work out, where nothing was available or just didn't get to the finish line. And pretty much since the day one we moved to Nashville, I kept telling Lauren, like, we just need to do it. We need to have our own office. She wanted to be a mom. So we had 2 kids in those first couple of years that we were here. And then when she had to finally go back after her second maternity leave, I think finally our little girl, Lenny, somehow convinced Lauren that it was time. Let's do it. So I was really glad that nothing worked out as far as purchasing an ortho practice. Lauren wasn't always certain that she wanted to be an owner. And I don't know if you've ever seen one. I've never seen an orthopedo practice that's for sale other than to a corporate entity. So
yeah,
startup was
you're either
really
having
the
to
only
add
option.
one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, like Mike mentioned, coming back after maternity the second time, I mean, I loved our associate office. We still work part-time occasionally. We got to learn a lot, build our skills, but it is very high volume. And it was an hour drive from where we live. And so just kind of like having more of a work-life balance was more important, and just was starting to get slightly burnt out, and so kind of wanting to do it. We took a lot from what we learned from them because it's the same model, so that was great. But we, at that point I was like, okay, I think we should do this. It's tough. It's a lot harder than being just an associate, but for the most part, we've enjoyed it, and really glad that we ended up pulling the trigger to do it. It might have been a little sooner than we thought we were going to do it, but I think the timing ended up being perfect.
There's no good timing for anything, let me tell you. It's always, whether it's kids, business, whatever it
exactly.
is, you just have to say yes. I'm 3 months postpartum, so I got 2 kids.
Congrats.
Thank you. So as I can just tell you, there's no good time for anything. You just got to say yes and figure it out as you go. That's how I do.
Exactly.
So you guys have 2 kids, the new practice, and you're married. So you guys spend a lot of time together. Has it been difficult to navigate marriage, family, and starting a new business together? And kind of what does that look like?
You taking that one?
I'll start. Yeah. I mean, there's certainly different stressors when you're running a business together that we didn't have before. Lauren and I have thrown a lot at ourselves before. We went through some pretty stressful periods of our lives together, dental school, taking board exams, that feels like the biggest thing you'll ever do in your life. We shared a lot of those struggles together where, they may not have been as expensive of decisions as we made with the office, but I feel like we were prepared in a lot of like the shared trials that we had in our past, where I feel like we're probably stronger as a family unit because of what we're doing together in the practice. And, the practice itself is kind of an extension of our family. We call it the Shine family. And I feel like as the practice grows, our family seems to be growing with it. So it hasn't been easy, but I think we're probably stronger from a family and marriage standpoint because of sharing that together.
I was going to ask how you guys divide your roles. Is like someone like the CFO, like they do all the numbers and the finance, and then someone's like the visionary, the creative, like how do you guys see your guys' roles?
Because I was the hard sell on, owning, I kind of said, you can do all the hard things and I'll be the workhorse in the beginning. I'll do the fun things. I'll design the office. I'll do the social media. I mean, I'm learning more, but as an associate, you learn there's so much that you don't do until you start owning a practice. And I'm doing more of the hard things. But as far as like financials, all that stuff, I mean, I would say you do the majority of it. But I design the whole office and I see all the pediatric patients and I refer them all to you. But yeah, I'm learning more and more every day, but there's a lot that we did not know, which is kind of a rude awakening in the beginning, but we're making it.
Yeah. It will continue to be that way too. There's always a new hurdle and you figure out how to overcome it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mike, you're kind of like the leader and Lauren, you're the creative.
Kind of, yeah, yeah. I guess
HR. Lauren's a great leader in the office. The staff loves her.
I think the staff always comes to me for everything, and then I run it by I always say I got to run it by the big boss. But I think in the beginning I just spent more time with the staff, and so I was there. For the first 6 months, Mike only worked in our practice like once a week. And I was there because orthos build so slow. Yeah. So I was there 3 days a week and he was there 1 day a week. And then the staff kind of like grew to me to be like the HR leader of the staff. So they come to me. I think I do a lot of that. But as far as like the financials and payroll and making sure the hours are all good, all that stuff is more Mike. Paying the bills, Mike.
Don't mind doing those things. Well, I would not be able to design an office. This place is beautiful, and I will take none of the credit for that. It's part of the reason why we're so successful, I think, is just the warm place that Lauren exudes. She figured out how to make an office out of it, and I will be the first to say I could not have done that.
Have really worked well within your strengths because like what's hard for one person might be super simple for the other, and so it sounds like you have really fallen into that nicely.
I think it kind of separates things. We don't butt heads over everything. I mean, I think we do have a great relationship at home and in the office, but we are really, I would say, like, we're really good business partners. We're good married too, but like for some reason we've always worked side by side, and we've always worked in an orthopedo. So I think it just like really fit us. So we try to make it as convenient and efficient for our patients, and that's why we love the model that we have. And I mean, Ashley, yours is probably very similar. So parents love it that it's all in house, and that's kind of how we work well together. I think our biggest challenge is that and this is at our associate office too, we say all the time, like, we have to be so perfect for all of our patients all day with 100 patients and 100 parents that sometimes when we get home, we're just like spent. And then like we don't have as much patience as we do for our patients. Like we need to have the patience that we have for our patients with each other and our kids. And when you're at home, it's just like, you're spent. And so that's been, I think, our biggest challenge is like when we get home, we're forgetting about work as much as possible, trying to put our phones down and kind of focusing in on just like our family. But
so let's rewind. Anyway. Yes, it is. To like your startup planning. Did you guys use a consultant? Did you shadow? Did you go to CE courses? Like, how, there's so much even before opening the office. I mean, honestly, that's one of the most stressful parts. What was your journey to even getting the doors open?
We started listening to Jill Allen's podcast. I started listening to it. And then because Lauren and I had 2 hours in the car every day, I started making her listen to it on the way to and from work. And then she instilled the rule only on the way to work, on the way home. we cannot listen to podcasts again. But I think even before we had really decided, I was trying to like inception her by playing the podcast on the way to work before she had decided. So luckily that was an awesome resource. It kind of created sort of like the skeleton, the framework. We just started at the beginning. And then that was sort of how we started that. Lauren, anything else you can think of?
We ended up using Jill as a consultant.
Oh, okay.
And we used her for, the ortho side, and then we did use a consultant for the pedo side that they've kind of worked hand in hand together. We kind of, I don't know why we decided to do it this way, but I think we just love Jill and her team so much. Jill was kind of like she was the leader. And then the pedo side kind of, they took over more after we opened. So Jill helped us get open, and then pedo came in harder after we opened to get systems in place, kind of thing. So we're smart, we're good clinicians, but we knew we did not know how to open an office. So we did want to spend where we needed to have the help with the consultants. So it was kind of like a team approach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I did the same thing. You just don't know what you don't know until it's right in front of you. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot more podcasts out there. I think Jill had started hers after I'd even opened. But then when you are dual, it's like, okay, well, who do I use? Who's good at pedo and ortho? Because they're two different animals, but they need to run cohesively as one unit at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And so, I kind of felt, I had a good playbook for the ortho, and I had been going to like a ton of like orthopreneurs for years and felt really good about the ortho. But the pedo, I really kind of just felt like we just opened doors and figured it out as we went.
Entirely different from financial and collections. It's completely different. And we found the consultant through Jill's podcast that we use for Lauren's side. Next Level, Mike Nunzio, and he actually has his own podcast, so they were podcasting.
We listened to him as well.
So we listened to both. That ended up, I think it worked out really well for us because Jill was the first to say, I can consult you on both, but really she'll tell you ortho is her bread and butter. And I know she's done orthopedics together, but she said if you really wanted the same kind of level of attention, she would recommend another consultant. So that was how we.
And they'd worked together on orthopedos, so they kind of had a connection and flow as well. So that was nice. And then,
do they exclusively do pedo Next Level?
Pretty much. No,
they do everything but ortho.
Oh,
okay.
They have ortho, but it's more towards the lens, I think, of like ortho within a GP office.
Got it.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of pedo.
You guys are open. So now that you guys are open and you're talking about like now we're trying to become profitable and you're already in it a year, and when you look at your budgets, where were some of the areas that over the last year you guys and even as you were opening that you decided to splurge on, and then where are some areas that you were like, hey, we're going to really tighten this up and be super cautious?
Well, one thing that Lauren and I both are not innately good at is asking people for deals or negotiating, rates with vendors. We figured that out really quickly kind of during our hiring contractors and those sorts of things. So as we got further and further in, we realized like supplies, you can kind of, your disposables, the things that look small on paper, but then as you use them day in and day out, they add up. So we've somehow been able to keep those really low by just basically asking people like, hey, like we're a struggling startup. What can you do for us in terms of these things that you're having to order on a monthly basis? Most of your dental supply vendors seem really willing to kind of work with you, and we were able to get kind of DSO pricing for a lot of the things that we're constantly ordering.
What vendors do you guys use? Obviously, Wild Smiles.
Wild, yep.
Yeah.
Patterson.
Patterson. We have a great Patterson rep. We did equipment with them and supplies. We love both of them. They helped us design our office, like the layout. Yeah. What else do we use? I do Henry Shine for like sedation stuff. I do in-office sedation, so we order through them for a few things, and then those are the main ones. What are we forgetting?
Yeah, we joined Mary's list, so a lot of the vendors we use that are on there can be used for both ortho and pedo things.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like the post-open stuff. I think the areas during the build out that we really could not get less expensive were just the general contractor costs.
Yeah.
I think that was 3/4 of our entire budget was for equipment or anything, which is
Nashville's expensive. I'm sure you know in California, Nashville is expensive to build, and we basically built 2 offices in one. So we're 4,600 square feet, which isn't
46. That's nice. That's a big office.
It's big. We didn't build it all out. I mean, the whole like contract, but we didn't equipment wise. We didn't build out every op yet. To try and keep costs down. But it's a big space. We thought it felt small because our associate office is 7,500 square feet, I think. It's
I'm
huge.
operating
It's like
both out of 2,600.
Yeah. So it's a big space. So our loan, that was a huge issue, was just finding a bank to give us the loan we needed because our build out was so much. And then equipment, we spent a lot on marketing, just obviously to try and get our name out there. We tried to do as much as we could
for marketing.
We use Neon Canvas for a lot of it. They built their website. They're doing most of our ads. We do our own social, but we have room to improve there. And then you can take over what else in marketing. Job. We get by.
I don't know if your experience was the same, but we've just kind of struggled to get any sort of outside referrals, at least for ortho. So the most beneficial thing for us for ortho patients has been kind of the paid search stuff. So we've really kind of leaned into that. We're fortunate Lauren does get a little bit more outside referrals for treatment specifically because she does the oral conscious sedations that some of the pediatric dentists around here don't do. So we do get a few referrals from there. But yeah, we've really had to focus kind of the marketing spending on just
direct to consumer.
We're not going to get a ton of outside referrals for ortho. And, I probably wouldn't refer to us either if I were another pediatric dentist nearby. Not that we ever would try to take a patient from somebody, but people may come and see how
people feel that way or have that perception.
Yeah.
I had the same issue. We have 0 outside dentist referrals, I should say. But we work with a lot of myofunctional therapists,
nice.
chiropractors, things like that. So study clubs. So just kind of leaning into different doctor referrals or maybe non-traditional methods.
Yeah.
And then we just were in the community. Literally the first probably 2 years that our practice was open, I was at a community event personally every weekend. 3 out of the 4 weekends. For us, farmers markets were just, we still do that, but now my team goes. But are there any community events in your guys' area that you guys are doing?
Yeah, we've done, I honestly like the amount we have to spend to be part of those versus like the return. That's probably been some of our better marketing things.
It's $350 a year to be a part of our commerce, and then I get to go to the farmers market every weekend for free.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I think we do need to be better about doing the farmers markets. We've done a few of them. We should do more. We just did a huge 4th of July one.
Nice.
We did one like a month ago. That was a big return for us. We had 15 people become patients, which that's a decent amount. And you've had some, I think, ortho starts from that. So we try to do a lot of events. And
what event was that?
Go to the schools.
What event got that big return?
It was called Square Fest. It was just in downtown Gallatin. They do a huge vendor market in the spring and the fall. So that was the spring one. We're going to do it in the fall. Our kids go to school a half a mile down the street. So we just dropped off toothbrushes with our little business cards on the bags, and we've gotten 4 or 5 kids from our son's class come. So just doing more of that stuff. It was hard the first 6 months because Mike was not in our office very much. And so like during the week, it was hard to do events and go visit offices or go to schools. So we've been the last 6 months really trying to like ramp that up more and doing more weekend events as well.
What is your guys' schedule between corporate and your office? Because I feel like that for me personally, the biggest game changer was when I pulled the plug on my corporate jobs and I was working admin in my office every day, working on my business. It's like so scary to do that. But the minute I did do that, things just catapulted. Where's your guys' schedule laying right now, a year out?
So Lauren, you're what, 3 days a month elsewhere? And I'm currently 1 day a week elsewhere, and then just kind of, we both randomly sprinkle some other stuff in.
So the last like 4 or 5 months, we've been mostly in our office. I'm in my associate job on Tuesdays. He's on Wednesdays. So we're there together Monday, Thursday, and every other Friday.
Nice.
So we like being there as much as possible together because then we can do same day ortho referrals and exams. But yeah, I mean, we are wanting to cut back. We also have to have some money. We're both married, and so if we quit, we'd have no money. But we're like getting close to being at that point where we're hoping that we can cut it back even more. For our loan, we're supposed to have income from an outside source as well to keep our loans. So for probably another, maybe like 6 months. Maybe we'll have to do it, but I know we can't wait to be just like in our office exclusively.
I think what makes the most sense would be probably Lauren moves here full time. I mean, we're just about full time. I don't need to be here as much as I am from a patient care standpoint, but just the extra time in the office that I didn't have. I'm not doing stuff after bedtime anymore. At 10 p.m. like I was having to do from when we opened July 1 of 24 through February of this year when I was working for someone else. I feel like I just have a much bigger pulse of how the practice is doing, and I'm sure you kind of feel the same. And I have more time to directly reach out to the patients. Sometimes parents seem to really like getting that extra little bit of doctor time who don't start a consult. I can do a lot more virtual consults while I'm here, not trying to see 100 people for someone else. So I agree. It's made a big difference. And just from the ortho production standpoint, from February until now, our average production per month is quadrupled, just because I'm here. And Lauren's had days where she's had sent over, 5 same day exams. And we couldn't do that as much when I was 100 miles away.
Right.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, I mean, since you guys, we're literally celebrating 1 year being open. What advice would you go back and give yourself on day one or leading up to day one, now that you're 1 year in?
You're going to be fine.
Yeah, we're going to make it. I mean, those first few months, we were a little panicked. We were pretty slow. It was like, I think we opened July 1st. Well, we had an insurance credentialing, a little bit of a snafu. So that kind of hurt the first couple months, but then it was like fall break hit. And after fall break was so busy. And then after that, we've been pretty steady. I mean, it's not like drastic numbers, but I think October, November, December were like 80 to 90 new patients.
Wow.
January through now, we're averaging 60 to 80 probably. So we're growing. It's going well. But I mean, like he said, you'll be okay. We knew in the back of our mind we'd probably be fine because we've seen how successful this model can be. But my practice sees on the pedo side, my associate job sees 130 patients a day. Your ortho job saw 80. So, this office saw 200 and like 50 people a day. And so going from that to like seeing like two cleanings your first week, your first day, you're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go under. But so basically just kind of like having the faith that we'd make it. We knew we would. It was just very stressful in the beginning. So
if you're like most orthodontic and pediatric dental practices, you're probably struggling with oral hygiene compliance, observation conversions, and an increase of shoppers, especially among young patients and their families. In my practice, Wild Smiles makes converting observation and phase 1 patients easy. Young patients and their shopping families value a personalized experience. When I first added Wild Smiles to my practice, they made inventory and reordering easy, and they even led our team through simple instructions on integrating Wild Smiles into our existing systems. So we saw an immediate success. Grow your early orthodontic patient population with Wild Smiles to combat boring traditional braces and expensive phase 1 aligners. Check out wildsmilebraces.com/doctors to choose the customizable Easy Start Kit that's right for your practice. Mention code KiDDs Biz to save 10% off your first order. Did you guys do anything to kind of help differentiate yourselves? I know you're in a new growing area where there's not that dual specialty besides corporate. So obviously a private practice is going to feel much different than a corporate. But when you guys were like thinking about patient experience or your design layout or your logo, was there anything that you guys did that you felt in your minds were different or differentiators?
I mean, I just wanted our office to feel very warm and inviting. Just come in and be like happy. But I just wanted people to be like happy when they came. So we have suns like everywhere. It's bright. We have suns. And that we get that a lot from parents. It's like, it's so warm and welcoming. The kids, like, I don't know. I just feel like our associate office is nice, but it was just not as like warm and inviting, I think. And like I said, we love them, but that was my thing is like, I wanted to be fun, bright, and the kids have a good time. In our waiting room, we have a play area for the kids. And then, we have, I think one thing that it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but doing a lot of oral conscious sedation, I have like a sleepy room, which is like a movie theater. So we give the meds and then they go watch a movie in there. They're not in the waiting room, like, passed out where other people are. And so just kind of making it, and I've had a lot of parents who've had sedations other places, like, this is great, like that we have a place to go. And so just little things, I think, was more what we kind of focused on. What else did we do? I mean, we did just want to really like harp on the convenience of being orthopedo, all in office. And then the oral sedation for me, you have Wild Smiles. There's no Wild Smiles around us that we know of. And then the newer one is, you might have heard of it, the new Smile Selig, the electric numbing device. Do you guys have one in your office? No. So it's a newer numbing device, and it's essentially painless, and there's no post-op anesthesia for the lip and tongue. So like I've gotten so much more treatment done because I haven't lost kids on like any anesthesia. It's amazing.
It's called New Smile.
It's the New Smile. It's from New Smile, but it's called the Selig. It's an electric numbing device, and I literally I've had it for like 4 months now, and I'm like, I don't know how I practice without it. Like, so
we should market it more.
We've been trying to market that as well. Kids just don't know they're getting a shot, and they don't feel it. Like I've done it with no nitrous.
Do I need to go purchase it?
I think I got it for. I think I got it for like $2,400. So it moves from op to op.
Okay.
You numb and you start working right away. You don't have to wait 10 to 15 minutes. It's just instant. So now I'm on a tangent. I'm like doing a marketing ad for New Smile here. Yeah. But so we've been trying to market that because we have so many kids that basically parents like they bit a hole through their lip, and we went to the emergency room and they said that we did something wrong, which we didn't. We all know kids just bite through their lip, and we just don't have to worry about that. So we've been trying to kind of like do little things to differentiate from the other offices in town.
Is there like a distinct ortho feel and a distinct pedo feel, or is it kind of all one cohesive theme together?
Kind of yes and no. I mean, like our whole thing is we really try to focus on we're a family practice. We're husband and wife. There's two sides to the office, but I probably spend as much time on the ped side as I do on the ortho side. So I mean, I love the wild smiles. I almost wish I hadn't been like resistant in the beginning, but luckily Davin followed up with me. But I feel like for us, that's sort of been a big differentiator.
That's been a big
because
thing.
being in peds, I'm probably like 50% phase ones right now.
Oh, dude, I'm even higher. Our area is like super, like there's not 12-year-olds in our community. There's 6 and 7-year-olds. So we are like very, and we do a lot of airway related stuff. So,
I mean, I think like as far as, sorry, I was gonna say, as far as the office, like shared waiting room, left side is pedo, cuter, more kid friendly probably, and then the right side is ortho. We share sterile lab, staff, break room, all that stuff, and his side is not. It's got room for growth on like how cute it is, but you do see a lot of adults, and so yes, like it's all cohesive, but you definitely can tell there's like a pediatric side and an orthodontic side.
Are your assistants dual trained, or do you have distinct ortho assistants and then distinct pedo assistants?
So I just hired in February our first ortho mostly employee is what we call it, but everybody is going to be cross-trained. We were really fortunate that our front desk admin person, who's been with us almost since the beginning, had been an ortho TC prior, had been an ortho assistant before that. And neither of the clinical team members that we had in the beginning had ortho experience, but they both picked it up really quickly. The hope is that people can go in for their cleanings, get their wires out on the pediatric side without having to take up an ortho chair if everybody knows what they're doing, and then they can come over to see me for their adjustments or whatever. So it's that everybody will get cross-trained. I think eventually we'll have to have the distinct pediatric team, ortho team, but I think we'll always kind of expect everybody to maybe be able to do both, or at least understand it, just to make the efficiency make sense with how we want the flow between the two sides to work.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest thing for hiring is finding people that are willing to do both specialties, or have even some experience with either or.
Yeah, we've been lucky. Our staff's been amazing. They're willing to learn and grow with us. We've only had one turnover in a year, and it was a quick one. It was a month in. We were like, this is not working out. So we've built like an amazing staff, which I think is probably my biggest achievement. I love that. But they have been willing. Not my girls, the two girls that started with us clinical, they were pedo, they didn't have ortho, but the one's in EFTA, and she picked it up really fast. And then the other one, she used to do insurance, front desk, she's clinical, and then she picked up ortho as well. And so we were pretty lucky there. And then everyone we've hired since has kind of been willing to learn. We tell them like, you're not going to have to probably do this forever, because in our associate, when you get big enough, you have to have like a hygiene team, you have to have a restorative team and the ortho team, and they can cross over some, but you kind of have to have those teams to be efficient. But in the beginning, we're like, this is just kind of the deal. We can only have so many staff, and if you work with us, we'll work with you, and everyone's been happy. And that's our biggest achievement is our staff.
That's
so
great.
Far.
I feel like I'm 4 years in, and I finally
that's a huge achievement.
My team. It was
I
rode up to this.
There's so much turnover with dental. It is hard. So we got lucky. Like I said, one little hiccup, but we figured that out fast, and we got someone in there that's now amazing. So yeah,
I love it.
I've
got as we kind of wrap up here. I just kind of wanted to ask a question about your branding. I always find it fascinating for startups on kind of what's the story behind your brand. And I'm sure there was some intentionality around the name and the logo. I would love to hear that story.
I think the name was the biggest thing. Do you remember, Lauren, we were sitting in our living room after bedtime, and it had been like a few weeks where we had a note on our iPhone, like a shared note, just all these names, and then finally it was your idea, right? You said Shine, and
I mean, I'm just trying to remember, like when you were looking to purchase, it was going to be ortho only. Right. It wasn't going to be combined. And the names you were coming up with, I was like, I don't know about this. So I had always, like, I don't know why, I've just always been drawn to sons. I think they just feel bright, cheery. And I said, if I was ever going to like open a pedo practice, like I thought like Sunny Smiles or something, but that's used a lot. It's also very kiddie, and he's going to see adults. And so we were like, I kind of was thinking of other ways to incorporate the Shine or the sun. And then we came up with Shine. And then I was like, well, you want a shiny smile. So it kind of just fit both, where it was sun, had a tooth kind of, teeth feel to it as well. And we sent Neon, like once we came up with Shine, we sent Neon. We're like, we want a tooth, we want a sun. We kind of like came up with some designs ourselves, and they were not great. And they came back with the one we chose, and almost instantly we both were like, we love that one. They loved it too. And I think we tweaked like the letters some, but like the actual logo, we were just like, or I think it didn't have a smiley face at first, or they had the option for smiley face, no smiley face in the tooth. And, but that one we just like instantly gravitated towards. So I don't even know the ones you were coming up with your orthodontic practice, but it was not going to be for
it wasn't but yeah, I mean, the Shine, just the more we talked about it after that initial aha moment, like the more it made sense. Your role in these patients' lives is you hope that they leave the office shining, you make them better. You hope as a husband and wife, you make the other shine, the whole being greater than the sum of the parts sort of thing. So the more, it was kind of an initial, we just knew right away, and then we kept talking about it, just it kind of fit perfectly. And
like we Googled, and there's really not many Shines. I think there's maybe 2 other Shine Pediatric Dentistry in the country, and one's in like Arizona and one's in Illinois. So it was kind of surprising. I thought there'd be more. But yeah, so we just kind of landed on it. And it's
although there is a Shine physical therapy 2 miles from our office. So
yeah, that's
which we did not know. Yeah, it didn't come up.
It's actually Shine. It's Shine Pediatric Therapy. So we've had a couple of people not look that closely when they put it in the Zoom or in the like directions, and then they ended up there. So but for the most part, not a lot of people with it.
Maybe that's a great referral opportunity.
Really has it. They came by, they dropped off referrals. We went to them once. So
So it sounds like you guys have been with Neon Canvas since, the inception till you're still working with him. As a startup, I think that like, what are expectations of like how much you need to spend on marketing? Because what I spent year 1 is drastically different than what I'm spending now. So how much are you guys realistically putting into marketing as a startup?
On a monthly basis, I think we're around the 3, like everything that you put under that bucket of marketing, which is many things. I think we're close to $3,000 a month, which not a lot.
I think that's not bad. Probably a little bit more than that, but it's not like astronomical. That's where we probably do have room to grow. We have plenty of room to grow there, but like with our financials, we're kind of like trying to balance it all.
No, it's hard to balance it all.
I think it's closer to 5, maybe 4 or 5.
I know our goal for year 1 was to be between 25 to 30, and we were successful in that. So well, mathematically,
you know better. You're the financial guy. I trust you.
The CFO.
Yep.
I think in the first 3 years, I did about 10% of revenue. And then we just did our practice analysis, and I think I'm at 1% of total revenue right now. Just because we don't need to market. Our name is already there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
which is
where
awesome.
Can we spend more money to market? Because there's room to allocate funds, but
Yeah.
So
we
yeah,
hope we get there.
You will. It just literally don't. My philosophy in the beginning was I never said no to any opportunity, and I was actually posting about like, I want to sponsor your games, like bring me things. I used social media a lot for that. I worked with like influencers. Don't be afraid to give away free treatment. It's just your time. A lot of the vendors will work with you and give you free product. I was working with a line at the time, and they gave me free product to work with certain influencers. So really it was not costing me anything except my time. And then you get their platform, showing you too. So in the beginning, it was like, I think I did every form of marketing. I like did door knockers. I did mailers. I did everything to just see what stuck. And I, to this day, working with influencers have been really successful, and our farmer markets. Those are like our two biggest ROI. And then obviously social media. Yeah.
I think we definitely can improve our social media. We could do more of the farmers markets on the weekends. We never did a mailer. I don't know. They were very expensive, and I just was like, I feel like I never look at them. And I just feel like with our demographic, like age demographic, like our target audience is pretty much us and a little older, a little younger. And I'm like, it's all online, I feel like. So
I 100% agree. I followed the blueprint that my
consultant
wanted me to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a little antiquated, but I'm happy that I explored every avenue. And then I came up with a formula that works for me. But yeah, you kind of have to exhaust all the resources, and then, make sure that your intake people are recording where they learned about you so that you can run those and then just lean into what's working for your office.
Yeah, I think we've been trying to really challenging thing. Yeah, because people all say they found you on Google.
I know.
And you have to get your staff to
tell me more about that.
Yeah. And then I'm guilty of it too. Lauren and I will still answer the phones when phones are ringing and people are with patients, and you feel like you need to get on and off the phone and get them on the schedule, and they tell you, I found you on Google, and you just say okay, and you put Google on the chart. So yeah, it is hard, but that is, it's the only way to really know if what you're spending your money on is
working,
productive or not.
Yeah. Well, I realized I stopped spending all marketing money when everyone just says the neighborhood. I found out about you in the neighborhood. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so word of mouth. All right, then we don't need to be doing all this ad spend now then. I guess that's done.
Honestly, I think for us, the free stuff has been our most productive, like the internal referrals. We do things like, where you're shot. Everybody gets a T-shirt when they're a new patient. Yep. If you wear your appointment, you get entered into a drawing. So then, it's more of like the branding and awareness stuff, people seeing your brand out there. But
absolutely,
just people on Facebook groups asking, like, hey, on the moms groups. That's got to be one of our biggest social media drivers of new patients. We've got some really loyal families that I guess we've just, we've treated the right way. And anytime someone posts asking about a pediatric dentist or orthodontist, we'll see the same couple of people, writing like glowing reviews on there, and just kind of getting your credibility from someone else. Those have always been the most, beneficial referrals for us. And that's just something that kind of takes time.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for sharing your story with us today. I know you both need to get back to clinic, but thank you for taking time out of your day to share your story. And for those of you that continue to listen to this podcast, we thank you for continuing to listen and share with your friends. I know we've heard a lot of stories about people that are sharing with their friends. I've had a couple people text me, and so we appreciate that. And then if you're so inclined, we've got a Facebook group that we're building a community of like-minded folks that are interested in both orthodontics and pediatric dentistry, lots of ideas. So we would invite you to follow that. And there'll be a link in the show notes. So we thank you.
Yeah,
Dr. Ashley,
it's a great
anything else to add?
resource. Yeah, no, the Facebook group is just a great resource for if you ever have a question, being able to go to someone that's also dual specialty, because I just don't know a lot of other people out there. So it's great to just throw questions at, and people are always really good about responding. So
yeah. Yeah, well, again, Dr. Great. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
Right,
well, thank you guys again,
so much.
and have a great rest of your day. Are you looking to grow practice revenue, improve patient retention, and enhance overall practice success in 2025? Join our faculty of leading practitioners, all experts in the crossover of orthodontics and pediatric dentistry, at one of 3 hands-on courses designed to equip orthodontists and pediatric dentists with essential knowledge and tools to establish and implement a successful Phase 1 bracket program to keep more patients in-house and grow your practice. Participants will be given a comprehensive roadmap to build a robust early treatment program and will be able to apply these strategies to their practice immediately. Whether you're looking to implement an early orthodontic treatment program for the first time or enhance your current offerings, this course provides the tools and knowledge to help you grow your practice and provide top quality care for younger patients. For more information on locations and dates, and to sign up, visit specialtyappliances.com/course/registration. Registration is open, and these in-office courses have limited space that will fill fast. So more information can be found again at specialtyappliances.com/course/registration.
Thank you for listening to the KiDDs Biz Podcast. We hope you gained valuable insights to elevate your practice. If you enjoyed the episode, please take a moment to leave us a review. It really helps us grow. Want to dive deeper into our community? Join the KiDDs Biz Facebook group for discussions, resources, and networking with fellow professionals. Until next time, keep striving for success in your ortho and pediatric practice.